Oh, dude, we're live. Probably should have tested this.
What do you mean?
Like, see if this is gonna work.
Did you click it yet?
Yeah,
You're
I mean,
live? No,
I'm
right?
live. I'm live. We're
On
live.
the channel.
We're live. Yeah.
Hello, Matthew.
Is my
Hello,
audio
hello.
on? Are we
I hear
live?
you. I think so.
Hold on. We're still just starting soon on YouTube, so I want to make sure.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Whoa. We're there. Hold on. Let me make sure.
Hello, Matthew.
Oh my gosh, I think it's working.
Hello. All right, you let me know.
All right, I think we're good. Look, dude, look at us. Look at us. We're live on YouTube right now.
So we're good? Everything's good?
I mean, we're here.
All right.
We're here.
Welcome to the Rueb Show.
Yeah.
Special live edition.
Oh, Josh is confirming the audio's good.
Perfect. Special live edition. Figured it would be the perfect time since we just had a thrilling Mets game that I get to talk about here.
Yeah.
Maddie has no idea how it ended, so talking him through it is going to be awesome. And then we're going to get into some NFL draft stuff since that's been, moving and whatnot. A lot of trades going down and a lot of speculation on who the first couple guys off the board are going to be. All right, so Matt.
Yeah.
Let's talk Mets. So
wait, we need to hold on. Can we address the elephant in the room? We missed an episode. We missed
an episode.
We're
busy guys.
We gotta. I want to apologize. We're busy this week, but we're trying to make it up to you with a live stream. So I feel like that's a fair trade-off.
I agree. I got my vaccine shot this week, so
nice.
This might be like my flu podcast. This is a big one.
I get mine tomorrow. I get my first one tomorrow. Which one did you go for?
I got the Moderna one.
Oh, so Moderna. Oh.
Yeah, go back in a month.
I'm going.
Yeah, I was pretty tired, dude. It kicked my ass.
Is your arm sore?
No, it's pretty good today. It was sore yesterday.
I mean, you ready to throw some bullets for the Mets right now? Like, what's the status?
Listen, I got in my left arm just in case the Mets needed me out of the bullpen,
okay.
Which it looked like they were going to. All right, so Mets.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was a rocky start with the 1-2 start, and then today, they just continued to be absolutely abysmal at the plate. They can't get a big hit to save their lives. They still do not have a hit with runners in scoring position today, despite winning the ball game. So, Matt, here's what happened. Here's how it ended. So it was bases loaded, 1 out. Michael Conforto up, who's like 3 for 21 on the season, might be the worst hitter in Major League Baseball this year. And Bass, the Marlins reliever, throws a slider, and Conforto just sticks his elbow out over the plate, and the umpire goes to call it a strike. And then Conforto goes, oh, no, it hit me. And the umpire calls dead ball, points to first base, and they give him the base. It should have been strike 3.
No.
And Mattingly goes crazy. Everyone goes crazy. But nonetheless, the Mets won the game. It was ugly, but at this point in the season, we'll take every win we could get. In Conforto's post game, that's all he kept saying was a win's a win. A win's a win. So that's what I'm coming on here today and saying a win's a win.
Seems like a cheeky win to me, James, but I mean...
Listen, we'll take it. Listen, we threw game 1 away, so then we get one back today, All
right, so 1-1?
No, 2-2 now. 2-2.
2-2.
Look at how far behind you are. You're so far behind now.
This last week of work has just been crazy. We need this to blow up, and then the Rueb Show will be full time.
Yeah, exactly. And so for the people, I do have to do one thing here, Matt. We've got to play the fucking music.
Oh, we can't hear it.
Yes, you can.
No, we can't hear it.
It's not loud enough?
No.
Damn it. This mic's too good.
I was about to say
the
that
audio out.
Your mic quality is actually too good.
It's too good now.
It's too good.
Listen, people, everyone knows I've been doing the IG lives.
Yeah.
Play the fucking music, people. The Mets are 2-2, and we got Jacob deGrom on the mound Saturday. So I'll take it. I'll take it at this point.
I saw some people going back and forth in the Chop Sports group with you and the Yankees. Seem like they think they've got a better pitcher than DeGrom. What do you think about that?
They have no idea what they're talking about. Garrett Cole has one good game against arguably a bottom 5 offense in the league, and now they think he's God's gift to baseball. When if you line him and Jacob deGrom up side by side, anyone with a brain who watches baseball will tell you that Jacob deGrom is the best pitcher in baseball. It is undisputed, and I mean it's not. Like I said, it's not even close. Not even close. If 100% of people agree on something, it's not fucking close.
I don't know. You've got Josh in the chat here, so I have a feeling there's going to be some
No,
fighting words.
Josh 100% agrees to it as well. Jacob deGrom's the best pitcher in baseball.
I mean, you're not arguing with me. I'm just saying I think that, there's some people out there where I saw the opinions. I saw you going back and forth in the group, and it was interesting.
Yeah, of course. And delusional Yankee fans think that Garrett Cole's God's gift to baseball when he's just not. Matt, you see what I'm drinking here?
What do you got there?
Show it off, baby.
Is that the Wawa? Half and half. Masters weekend.
That's when you know it's gonna be a good day when you go to Wawa, get the half and half, little their own version of a little Arnold Palmer for Masters week.
Yeah. Did you do any DraftKings or any bets? Like, how are you feeling on the Masters? I didn't really feel any hype from you this year.
Yeah, I put out one outright bet on Justin Thomas. He's okay today, but that's really my only action. I think I got him at 14-1.
Yeah.
I think that was all, and then I played a really chalky DraftKings lineup in cash, and that's it. Nothing crazy for me this year. No chasing $1 million. Nothing like that for me.
What's wrong with you? That's when you know it's been a long week. When James isn't going big on the Masters week.
Yeah, it's been a long week. But listen, I'm loving this weather today. I got the windows open over here. You see the sun shining. Yeah. Matt's over there in his cave.
Yeah.
He hasn't seen sunlight in a week.
No, there's no sunlight coming in here. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, I actually didn't watch any of the Masters today. I don't know. I'll probably watch this weekend if I have time. But you know, I'm not a big golf guy. I'm not the craziest golf guy. I love the Masters, and I watched it in November. But I don't know. You watched a little bit today? How is it? What?
I had it on. It was okay. I know that Jordan won last week, and everyone just thought that he would just come in and do lights out. And it'll be interesting to see how he does over the weekend. But I didn't get to watch too much. I watched about 15 minutes before we got on our stream here, and I saw a couple people playing out of the woods, which is near and dear to my heart. I'm used to that out there on the course, but. No, we'll see.
The one thing that I do know is that the course is playing like way harder here in the spring than it did in November, which was a big theme coming into the week. So
it seems like the greens are brutal. I saw one where the ball probably rolled 20 feet further than it should have. So we'll see.
Yep, I hear that. All right. Cool. So we hit on the Masters. We hit on some Mets. We talked about how busy we were this week because we truly both were. Matt actually called me today and got mad at me. Yeah. He got mad at me that I didn't call him all week and talk to him. Yeah. We were busy. Well, what does he want from me? He genuinely was mad at me.
Yeah. Well, I think that we made a point to do this twice a week, and when when we're not holding up our end of the deal, I'm not just going to let you off easy. Like me
off easy. You're the one. You're the busy one this week.
We don't need to get into specifics here, but
just like it's my tags, right?
Well, I mean that would be incorrect because they're my tags, but we'll see. I mean, look at the stream right now. I hope we're still up. We still got. I haven't seen any lags or any drop packets or anything. So
look at you. Nice.
We'll see.
All right, so let's do it. Let's talk some draft stuff. I wanted to come on and talk some NFL draft stuff today just because I think it's a really interesting time for the draft. We are at the perfect time where nobody knows anything, but they think they know a lot. I think that's exactly where we are here, a month out.
Yeah.
We've gotten some nuggets from guys like Daniel Jeremiah and Shefty and whatnot. I think we can both agree that the top two are kind of set in stone. Do you agree with Lawrence and Wilson now? The writing's on the wall with the Jets and Wilson. He just had a medical evaluation today to review his shoulder, and it was completely fine. The Jets are set in stone on Wilson. They have their new franchise quarterback while sending the other one out the door.
See, I think we are set in stone, but I do have some little hope that Urban Meyer wants to link up with Justin Fields. I know it's a low odds to happen, but I think that, did you see the throw from Justin Fields where he was running to his left and threw the ball probably 50 yards down the field in stride to the receiver in the pro day.
Yeah, I think that I don't know if that was Fields ones that you're talking about. That might have been Wilson, dude.
No,
Wilson
it was Fields.
had that sick throw.
100%
They're
was
both
Fields.
incredibly talented. And Matt, what if I told you that I think Justin Fields might get to the double digits here in draft? He might get to like 10 or 11 or 12. Dude, I'm telling you have no idea. I've been super tapped in this week to draft stuff, and like the hate on Justin Fields from draft Twitter and from all these people with inside sources to the league is that like they're comparing him to Haskins, dude. Like,
no shot. No.
I swear, that's what's going on this week.
And that's that's Bill Belichick's putting his nose down, trying to lower him so he can get him down at 15. I guess
it is unbelievable what's going on with Justin Fields right now, and we could talk about it. That's what I was going to transition to, is this third pick that the Niners traded up for. They are taking Mac Jones. I know I said this to you a couple days ago, and you're like, "There's no way."
There's no way.
They are taking Mac Jones, dude. Like. Jeremiah has said it. Shefty has like come out and really said it, and he doesn't come out and just say stuff like that.
I don't think so. I think that Trevor Lawrence is a lock, but I think that if I had to rate or rank my quarterbacks in team, like for the Jets, I would want Justin Fields maybe over Zach Wilson. But I don't think that the comparison from even Justin Fields to Mac Jones is – I don't think you're talking two are the same. I think that Justin Fields is way better than Mac Jones. I think as far as a franchise quarterback goes.
I just think in terms of upside, it's not comparable. I mean, Justin Fields ran for 1,400 yards in college. I mean, just that untapped potential, and it's all about landing spot. And there's a world where Shanahan might think like, oh, this statue of a quarterback, Mac Jones, is better for our system and our franchise than a guy like Lance or Fields. I just think that's crazy, right?
I think it's crazy. I think that John Elway will not let Mac Jones go to the 49ers. I think that if he figured that out, he would have a mess. I mean, he would be trading away.
But he can't. But what's he going to do? They already jumped him. The Broncos are interesting at number 4. I think they're the most likely team to get up to number 4. What do you think about that?
But who do you take it for? So here, I'm going to run through my mock because I didn't have – or my first 10. I did that. Okay. Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson to the Jets, Justin Fields to the 49ers, and the Falcons. This 4 pick is big. Do you think – like who do you think – you think that the Broncos will move from where they're at from 9 up to 4? Or what do you think?
Yeah, I don't see – I personally can't see a world where the Falcons are picking there at 4. Like, It makes way too much sense for them to move back in the draft. Like, I feel like it's almost a no-brainer. And the only way that they stay there, in my opinion, is if they fall in love with Kyle Pitts and they think that they want him there.
But that's not a need for them right now. I don't think that I went back and forth with some of my local Atlanta friends about this. Like, I have – Pitts falling down to 8 with the Panthers.
That's a really good spot for him. I'd be down for that. And I think that is likely to happen. I do think that's pretty likely to happen. But, I mean, the problem is Pitts, the odds-on betting favorite right now for that 4th pick, and his under 5.5 draft selection is at even money. So, I mean, there's a lot of speculation on him going in that top 5. And I personally think it's fine. Like, anyone who tries to throw out any tight end data on guys not succeeding right away or not producing, like, they probably haven't watched Pitts play. I mean, this guy is legit built in a lab, freak of nature talent. He's a wide receiver. It's the same people who didn't like Chase Claypool last year and thought, oh, he should be a tight end. Think of that Steelers team last year, and now think of Chase Claypool. Like, that guy's not a tight end. It's the same thing with Kyle Pitts. Like, he is not going to be a tight end. I don't care how good he blocks. I don't care about any of that because he is a wide receiver.
Well, I actually saw a lot of people for like projecting him to go to Miami, which made even less sense to me
I
because
don't. I doubt Miami does that. I saw that as well though.
I mean, I just don't think it makes sense for that team. But four, I think, is going to be the big question mark in my eyes. And then, are we on the same page that Chase gets reunited with Joe Burrow
Yeah. Yep.
at
And
five?
then yep. And I think that then the Dolphins go with the tackle. Go with Sewell.
I
For
agree.
sure.
I agree there. And then the Lions. This is another good one. Do you think they have to go with the next best receiver, right?
I don't know. I think it's interesting. And I want to get into the wide receiver conversation because I
Yeah.
think we might have hinted on it in previous podcasts just about my personal wide receiver rankings and how I view these guys. I am way, way, way more down on Devontae Smith than like what the general public is or what the market is. Just when you see a guy like Smith who's a late breakout age with his type of measurables, and not having a ton of college production until his senior season, I don't know. I'm not super excited about Devontae Smith, and I personally like Jalen Waddle a lot more than Smith. And I prefer getting Waddle in, those teens rounds or early 20s compared to a team investing like a top, at this point, easily top 15 pick on Devontae Smith.
I actually had a Waddle going here at
No,
7
it's
to
too
the
early.
Lions.
No, he's a back end. What do you call it? He's a projected mid to back end guy. I mean, he could move up, but
I
I don't
think
see
that
it.
some receiver will go. I think it's 7. I don't think the only other one was the cornerback.
Surtain.
Certain. I thought he could go here, but the Lions. Where's Jake? Where's Lions Jake here? They need some help at receiver, especially with Kenny Galladay gone now.
Yeah, they absolutely do. Like, I mean, I at skill position right now. I mean, it's bad. Like they literally have nothing. And so just to touch on a little like fantasy perspective, what do you think about TJ Hawkinson?
I mean, who else is going to be like? He's got to. How many red zone targets do you think he's going to have? I mean, he's going to be their only weapon in the red zone right now. He's got to be
Yeah,
good.
it's going to be a million. I mean, it has to be.
It has to be
Yeah,
just by
it really has
pure
to.
volume.
Yep.
But then if we're running through at 8, I had the Panthers picking up Pitts. I thought that would actually be a really good addition to their receiving core with Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore. Do you want to talk about the trade that the Jets made that solidifies that they're moving on and drafting a quarterback?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know that I think we are on different sides of this one.
Yeah.
I kind of think it was good for both sides. If the Panthers weren't willing to go up and trade up for a quarterback at the time, I doubt that they thought Justin Fields might be available to them there. And they still might go get a quarterback. I mean, they're not locked into Darnold long term, but they did give up a lot for him. They gave up what I would like equate to a late first round pick, basically, between that second rounder and then the additional fourth that they gave. I mean, I really like the landing spot for Sam. I don't think Sam is bad. I think that Sam got a bad rap with Gase. But here's the problem, Matt. You're shaking your head. I see you, but you can't shit on Gase and think he's like the worst coach ever, and then not at least admit that Sam Darnold was put in a really shitty situation.
I mean, we have talked at many lengths offline about how I feel about Adam Gase. I don't know how he's an NFL coach. I think he's easily the worst in the NFL. His system is terrible. I just have seen Darnold just make bad throws. I mean, the system will help, I think, in Carolina. He's reunited with Robbie Anderson. He did have some chemistry with him there. Is he going to be the next Tannehill that escapes Adam Gase and breaks out and gets the big contract? I don't know, but at the same time, do I think he's a significant upgrade over Teddy Bridgewater, or do I think he should even be starting over Teddy Bridgewater, I think that is a question. Like, I think that I don't know.
Their upside isn't comparable, though. Like, Sam Darnold has significantly more upside than Teddy Bridgewater does. We know what we have in Teddy Bridgewater. We don't know what we have in Sam Darnold, in my opinion.
I don't think so. Like, I know everyone has just written him off as the starter. I don't think that's fair to Teddy Bridgewater. I don't think he did that bad last year.
I don't think Teddy Bridgewater's on this roster. They're most likely going to get out of him. They're mostly going to cut him, like most likely. Absolutely. They're going to look for like a trade partner or something, but that's not going to come to fruition, and they're going to end up cutting him 100% to get out of that contract for sure. They have an out after this year. So
we'll see. I don't know.
Do you think, just to work backwards a little bit, and I actually would love to get Jacob's opinion on this, and maybe I'll shoot him a text here and see if he answers me. Like, do the Lions go quarterback if Justin Fields is there? Let me text him. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. Scott, friend of the show, Scotty Schweff, is in the chat right now and did remind me that Sam Darnold's 23.
Yeah. He's 23 years old. He was one of the youngest quarterback prospects of all time, if not the youngest. I mean, I think you're giving up on a guy way too early. It's the same thing that I give you crap about Tua. I mean, the dude was dealt a terrible hand last year, 12 months removed from major hip surgery with no weapons, and he's getting benched every other game, and you want to write the guy off as being awful. I think it's way too soon to be making those assumptions.
Well, no, I just told you, my whole thing on him was, if you're spending that kind of draft pick, I don't think he should have played at all last year. I don't really know why they did play him at all. I would have just let him rest, let him get used to the NFL, let him learn under Fitzy, and it's low risk. But then they forced him into it. He didn't look ready, and now there is a question mark.
Yeah,
is he good? Is he bad?
Here's my question, Matt. But here's my question. You wouldn't be down on him if he sat the entire year last year. So why are you down on him because he played? I don't get that.
Because he played, he came back, said he was ready, and didn't look good.
Yeah, during a COVID offseason with no in-person training camp, 12 months removed from a major hip surgery where people are like, is this guy going to walk and play football again? It's just way too early to give up on Tua.
I have not given up on him. I'm not giving up on him.
No, that's not true. Get Jordan in the chat. You've absolutely given up on Tua.
That is not true.
No doubt about it.
My dynasty team does not reflect that, as I have him there. I think he's an excellent pick if anyone wants to trade me for him. But no, I mean, I think that we'll see. I mean, he's got upside. Like, I mean, I think that coming back this year, Preston Williams is coming back. Devontae Parker's coming back. They signed Will Fuller. They're helping him. He had no one to throw to last year. No one. Yeah. So
Jamar Chase is going to be fun if that's where he does go. That'll be a lot of fun. So here's the argument, though, is that people think that the Dolphins could go ahead and draft a tackle there at 6, and then with their other first-round pick, that they might be able to get a wide receiver then. At 18? What do you think about that?
I don't hate that, especially because if you're saying that Waddle could still be on the board,
I don't know. I think he's going to go in the teens. Like where could Waddle go? I mean, realistically, the Giants probably might take a wide receiver, even though they just added Kenny Golladay. So he could go there, but then that would mean Devontae Smith was off the board as well, because I don't think Waddle's going to go in front of Devontae Smith, despite some really smart people liking Waddle more. So just to give you,
I really like Waddle. Just to give you
a player comp, like, he's just as fast as Jalen Ruggs was last year, but he has that type of route running ability that like a Jerry Jeudy had. He is a perfect combination between those two guys. And the only reason people are down on him is because of the injury last year and him not producing when Devontae Smith had a Heisman Trophy season.
Yeah. I think that he still could be there because, like you said, I don't think, like, if you look through the teams there, I don't think most of those teams need receivers.
I think he'd go to the Cardinals at 16. What do you think about that? I think that would be a really fun spot, too.
I don't think they spend the pick on him. they signed the. I mean, you
Yeah,
you and I hate this
corpse
pick.
of Adrian Green, but they
You
only
and
signed
I-
him for 1 year. They only signed him for 1 year.
Yeah, but why would you spend a first round draft pick when you've got I mean, they literally have 5 receivers that could play in the NFL right now.
Yeah, but they hate Andy Isabella, so it's like they're not even super invested in him. Like they're done with him. Like they're not gonna re-sign him. I don't think.
I mean, they have Hopkins, they have Kirk, they have AJ Green, they have Fitzgerald, they have Andy Isabella. Like I don't see the Cardinals making that move. I think that if you're saying that the Dolphins could get a tackle in their first pick and then a Waddle in the second pick or Devontae Smith, either or, I think that'd be great because I think that teams need to realize that linking the relationships up with these guys that had in college may be bigger, especially with an immediate impact in the NFL.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm a big fan of what do you call it? I'm a really big fan of Patrick Surtain. Like I think he's going to be really really good. Yeah, I think the Cowboys are going to be foolish not to pick him. Yeah. I think that he's got to be a lock there. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what the Broncos do at that pick 9 if I don't know if they're going to trade up now because I think Lance or Fields will be available to them there, right?
So why don't we go through and rank your top 5 quarterbacks? Because I'll be interested to hear, like, who are your top 5 on the board?
Okay, obviously it's Lawrence 1, Zach Wilson 2, and then for me it would be Justin Fields, Lance, and then Mac Jones.
Okay, we're in the same agreement there, but as far as your draft order, your projected draft order is not saying that. So who do you think?
No, it's not.
Who do you think you're still on board? Official statement, April 8th, is that the 49ers take Mac Jones.
Yeah.
That's what they traded all their investment for.
Yeah, for Mac Jones. Yeah. I mean, it was just plus 100 a couple of days ago on DraftKings Sportsbook for him to go there. And I put a little bit on it because I really do think listen, when Daniel Jeremiah and Shefty are tweeting out stuff 6 weeks before the draft about a guy's landing spot, like pretty confidently, that means they have some information, you know? Like they're way more tapped in to that kind of stuff than we are.
I guess I think that if you were the Lions, like I think you would be foolish not to get Fields at 7 there.
I completely agree. If he's there for the Lions, yeah, that makes way too much sense. Even though that they're tied to Goff, like, who cares? Like they got their draft picks from that trade, like whatever. Yeah. Like they don't care about Goff's contract. They have to go out and get themselves a quarterback.
I was actually hoping that Lance would fall to the Patriots. I've seen a lot of mock drafts where that happens.
No, that's not. I don't think that happens, but we'll see. You know who's a Patriots player? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I do want to talk about the Giants-Eagles here real quick at the 11-12 spot because I'm like, do you think that it's in the Giants' best interest? I think I know what they're going to do, and they're going to make more of a win-now pick with someone like a wide receiver, or do you think what do you basically think the Giants' needs are here besides getting rid of Dave Gettleman?
That's tough.
It really is tough because it feels like they're more than one player away, you know? So it's but the division is so wide open.
I don't think they need a core like a flashy player. Like I think they need to make like a good team pick, but I think they're at such a high spot in the draft that I'm not sure that they're going to do that.
And that would be a really good pick, a really sharp pick, someone that I think should go really high in the draft. And I actually have him falling to more in the late teens is Micah Parsons, which burying the lead, that's who I think the Patriots are going to want to target is Micah Parsons.
We'll see. Schweffy did give us an update. Mac Jones at minus 210 for number 3 at FanDuel. Yep.
It was just plus like 100, 125 the other day. So I'm telling you, I think it's signed, sealed, delivered there, Matt. Which I know it's crazy and it doesn't make a lot of sense, but I mean, it's what we talk about in fantasy football. It's assumption of rational coaching, you know? It's assumption of rational front officing. Like these guys, I mean, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me either. But what are you gonna do?
I don't know. I just don't see like I see the Giants taking Micah Parsons. I don't know if the Patriots would, but I know we're getting. Let's talk to the Eagles. What do you think?
I personally think they need to take whatever cornerbacks on the board between Surtain and Horn. Whoever like, because the Cowboys, I really think that they need to go with a corner. And I think that they know that as well. We saw how bad that secondary was last year. Yes, they added 2 older safeties, but they still have massive holes at cornerback that need to be filled, and they need to try to address that in the draft. So I think one of those 2 goes to the Cowboys, and then the Eagles really want to target whoever's remaining.
I would be surprised if Surtain makes it out because I think he actually fits a lot of needs of the teams in the top 10. Like if the Falcons do some type of trade back to where they stay in the top 10, I think he would be a great fit there. I mean, they need secondary help as well.
Yeah, if the Broncos moved up to 4 and then the Falcons ended up picking 9, that would be a really good landing spot for him. I could see that, especially since Trufont's been out the door and whatnot. They really do have a glaring hole at cornerback as well.
Yep. Yeah, and I could see that. That would actually be really bad for the Cowboys. I think that would be actually worst case because I think pretty much everything I've seen had him going to the Cowboys at 10.
For Surtain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And then I think Horn just follows behind. Like wherever Surtain goes, then people are going to panic on that needing that corner, and then we might see a trade up for Horn or someone reach a little bit on Horn, which I think is fine because I think he truly could be a generational talent as well as Surtain in the secondary.
Yeah.
Chargers, Vikings, I think it's interesting. Chargers definitely have a hole at left tackle that they need to fill. I don't know if they're going to be interested in anyone because I assume that Slater and Sewell are off the board. But if Slater was able to make it down to them there, he would be like a no-brainer pick for them. Like that'd be a smash pick. It's like when Wirfs and Wills fell last year to the Browns and the Bucks, and you're like, yeah, this makes so much sense. Like lock it in kind of thing.
Well, if the first 10 picks go like you said, I mean, he should still be on the board for him. And I think it'd be great to get Herbert some extra protection there because I think that's really all he needs. I mean, he's got I think he's got all the weapons he needs. And he didn't really use Hunter Henry. They've got your boy.
Donald Parham, baby.
Parham, and then Mike Williams. I like that. I would like that pick for them. I think that's a no-brainer.
Yep, I completely agree. And then 2 teams that I think are in pretty similar spots are the Vikings and the Patriots. Not the favorites in their division, but potential to win the division.
Wow. Wow, James, how the times have changed here. The potential to win the division for the Patriots. Let's talk about that for a little bit. Let's talk about the Vikings first.
The Bills are gonna win the division.
You said it, not me live. I can't edit that out.
Listen, Matt, as we sit here right now, the Patriots, as they're currently constructed, are banking on a Cam Newton resurgence. If you think that's possible, then they have the defense to get it done. But it literally all comes down to Cam Newton. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think it's a big portion of it, but I think that they helped. If he can't do it now, I don't think he's going to do it. They definitely have improved weapons. They have improved weapons. They're getting some of their defensive players back who opted out last year. So what do you think that they should do there at 15? I think Parsons is a really good fit for them. I actually was really hoping that Lance would make it down here. I love it. I love him. I think he's a sneaker pick. But who's going to take him above?
There's a better chance of Fields. Dude, I think Lance goes 4th.
Fields is even better. Better. I would love Fields.
I think, dude, everything on Twitter is literally Fields can't go through progressions. He's a one read and run guy. Like, that is what is happening here on Twitter.com from all these people. It's like they didn't watch him in the freaking semifinal game against Clemson. I mean, did we watch the same guy?
I don't know. I don't see what they're seeing because I think he can throw the ball. And to be honest with you, if that's what he are you comparing him to Lamar Jackson? Or are these people comparing him to Lamar
No.
Jackson?
No, they just don't think he can throw. Like can't like it was known Lamar Jackson couldn't throw, but he had a unworldly he's unbelievable with the ball in his hands as a running back basically.
Yeah.
But Fields, for them, he's not as athletic as Lamar is, but it feels like it's the same type of criticisms, and we saw how wrong people were on Lamar.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a ton of people who are stuck in this old NFL mindset who can't see where the league is going to and how valuable these mobile quarterbacks are. It's the same debate that I get in with people about Jalen Hurts. They're just so worried about this 58% completion percentage. Oh my God, he's so inaccurate. Yeah, but look at how much value he adds with his legs, and look at his escapability and ability to move the pocket and kind of mask some of any offensive line issues that a team has. I don't know. Mobility is so important at the quarterback position. Yeah. And that's why we question the Mac Jones pick as well, because it doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
I am not even forecasting Justin Fields to make it that far, but I wanted the Patriots to take Lamar Jackson when he was, I think we had like the 28 pick or something like that in the draft, and we didn't take him there, and I would love Justin Fields. I think that dual threat quarterback is what you need in the NFL today, because it just adds a whole nother dimension to the that the defense has to cover. And he's so fast. Did you see? He ran like 4.38 or something?
Yeah. I think it was like a 4.4, yeah. That's another thing is a lot of this measurable stuff. I mean, it's timed at pro days. Yeah, they're using some of the laser time stuff and whatnot. But we just saw it with one of my favorite wide receivers, Bateman. He was listed at like 6'2", 210, and then he comes in and he's 6 foot 190 at his pro day, and it just like completely that 20 pounds and 2 inches just completely changes my perspective on him. Now he's like more of the Stephon Diggs undersized outside role who could play in the slot instead of this big outside wide receiver who can win on the edge and find a job right away in the league, just using his physical skill set. The fact that he's a little bit lighter and a little bit shorter than I thought, I mean, it just crushes his draft stock. And that's why I think a guy like Jalen Waddle could really fall to this next team, the Cardinals, because that we don't have measurables on him, and he hasn't run a 40, and he's coming off that ankle injury. I mean, if he falls here to this mid-teens round, I mean, I think it's a steal.
Yeah, I think it would be a steal. I think he's one of my top receivers off the board. So I don't know if he'd make it this far down. But I also don't know if I was the Cardinals if I would want to use my draft stock on him, just because of the amount of, like, how much is he going to play?
Oh, a lot. He's completely healthy.
I'm not nothing about him being healthy, but how much is, like, we know
he should play every snap over AJ Green.
He should play. Yeah, but we said the same thing about Andy Isabella and Larry Fitzgerald. And now you've got Larry Fitzgerald and AJ Green, which they're going to try to sell.
They haven't re-signed Larry Fitz yet. And they're going to move Kirk into the slot. They do have room for 2 slot wide receivers. That's the thing with them playing 4 wide. So Waddle could be their other slot guy. Like they have playing time for wide receivers. Yes, it may be like a 50-60% role. It won't be 100%. It's not the ideal fantasy landing spot even right now, but from a real life perspective, they definitely have a need for him. They have a need for wide receivers. I think we just won't be happy about it from a fantasy perspective.
I just don't think. I think they could use their team, maybe go somewhere on defense. If there's
they kind of addressed that in the offseason, though. I think that was their plan. They go out and they spent a ton of money on J.J. Watt. Yeah. I think that they have a need for Waddle. They have a need for a wide receiver, in my opinion, and he would fit really well there. So
here's a question, and I don't know every recruit coming out, but is there a first round guy like Derrick Henry or AJ Brown or DK Metcalf that's just one of these like freak of nature athletes? There's not really one this year, is there?
No, for me it was Bateman, and he's not. I mean, Pitts. It's Kyle Pitts, but yeah, it's Pitts is that kind of guy to where just ungodly upside if it's untapped, like that. I guess he's kind of that guy. But on the offensive end, like I know you're thinking of it from like a fantasy football breakout perspective.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Nothing really.
Okay.
The problem is, I mean, this is actually a really good defensive draft as well. Like, I think there's going to be, I haven't tallied it up yet, but there's going to be a significant portion of the first round is going to be spent on edge rushers and secondary players, and even linebackers, which are an undervalued position in the league this coming out this year that are pretty valuable.
Who's your first? I don't want to. I know we're coming up on 45 minutes live time, so we'll probably go for about 15 more minutes here. But what do you have for a running back? Do you have one coming off the board in the first round?
No, definitely not in the first round. I would go as far to say, in the next decade, we see 5 or less running backs go in the first round. That would be kind of my bold call. Like the NFL is finally starting to figure it out and transition towards.
There's no shot.
I'm telling you,
the NFL's
we will never see a top 10 NFL running back again. Never. I would go on record saying that. We never see a running back taken in the top 10 in the NFL again.
We definitely will. It's just not this year, I think.
No, unless he's like a pseudo wide receiver type guy who plays like a majority in the slot or something like that. One of those hybrid guys. A true like 3-down running back, it's not happening anymore. The NFL is just getting way too smart in terms of that. Saquon Barkley is going to go down as the last wide receiver ever taken in the top 5.
Running back.
I mean,
but
last running back ever taken in the top 5. That would be my bold call for this episode.
Okay, I'm not gonna. I don't agree with you on that one. I think that there's still gonna be the Adam Gases of the world that will draft a running back in the top 10. So
yeah, but those guys are like leaving the league. I mean, they might be gone and they might be extinct in the next 5-10 years.
They're not gonna be extinct. They're still gonna be there. They're gonna be live and well. We didn't really touch on the Vikings. What is their need as a team? Like defense?
I guess probably edge rusher would probably be where they should go to. There's Phillips who they could potentially target. The guy Pay, he's really good as well, who could fall to them. I think one of those two will be available to them at 14, and that's kind of the direction that they'll go. I'm not sure. They definitely aren't a candidate to move up. Potential maybe move back candidate. I don't know. But I'm not crazy about I don't know. I think an interesting discussion is, how do you feel about the Vikings just this season in general? Like, I actually think I'm like a little bit higher on the Vikings, I think, than the market. Not that I think that they're good. I don't think the Packers are as far ahead of them as most people would.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they're decent. Like, I don't think they're going to make it far in the playoffs, but I think they could make it to the playoffs. I think they're going to be limited by Kirk Cousins just by nature. But I'll be interested to see what happens with Justin Jefferson this year. Like, does he continue to be this breakout all-star, or does he kind of come back to earth?
I mean, he was incredible last year, 1,400 yards as a rookie. I mean,
yeah,
he truly was special. And I mean, pour one out for the Eagles fans, because the entire city of Philadelphia wanted him to go there. And then it's like the first time ever that the public and the city's actually right over what I consider a pretty smart franchise in the Eagles. And they're just, I mean, how stupid does that look now?
Really bad. Really, really bad. But they did get hurt, so I mean, there's some relief for Eagles fans.
They don't believe in Hurts at all. I mean, there were the talks about them trying to trade up to number 2, and they were only going to do it if they were trying to trade up to 3, and they said that they were only going to do it if Zach Wilson was available. But Zach Wilson's obviously going to the Jets, and they're not budging. So
why do you think that they don't believe in Hurts? I don't understand. He performed well, like when he played.
No, that's not the sentiment from a lot of people, is that he performed well. I know a lot of Eagles fans, like a good amount, like almost every Eagles fan I know is not a believer in Hurts long term. We're definitely higher on him than most people are.
Well, most Eagles fans are pretty, interesting as it is. So
to me, I just it all comes down to the coordinators and the coaches. Like, how willing are you to build a system around a player like Jalen Hurts and put him in situations to succeed?
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that he's going to be just one that's limited by his offense and or his offensive receivers and his O line. But he kind of proved last year he's mobile. He can help. He can make a O line look better than they are with his feet.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I completely agree. Completely agree. What do you do you believe the worst offseason free agent signing? Do you know about this one that they signed Kenyon Drake? You saw that, right?
Yeah, I went off on you. Remember, that's the one I sent you the text. I think we were both out.
Yeah, I don't know. That was the Texans one. That was the Texans about how dumb they are. Yeah, but I mean, they get Kenyon Drake. I mean, they have no idea what they're doing. They draft Jalen Ruggs. They just use him as running wind sprints. I think last year was the best Derek Carr year that we'll ever see. That was his ceiling year, and it's all downhill from here. Josh Jacobs is like a 2-down running back. I mean,
It didn't make any sense.
It's so bad. I think they're counting the days until they're out of Gruden's contract, because that dude he's done. They'll never win under him.
It's so everything he's done has just not worked out. So,
agree. Let's touch on 3 more teams here, and then we'll get out of here, because I do think that these 3 teams are very interesting in trying to see what they're going to do in the draft. And it's the Dolphins' second pick, which we already kind of hinted on, that we want them to either get a wide receiver and then go and get a tackle here, or maybe an edge rusher. I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I just think you got to lock down the guy like Chase and then just let whatever falls to you here at 18. You make it happen. And then the next team is a team that we're both excited about from a fantasy perspective, and we love their new quarterback with the Washington football team.
I think they're making a lot of good decisions. I know you don't respect Ron Rivera. I do. I think look at what he's doing.
No, I don't think Ron Rivera is that good of a coach.
But look at what he's doing. He's got Ryan Fitzpatrick, the GOAT, in there.
I don't even know if they give Fitzpatrick the whole season. I'll be honest with you.
No one ever does, but why not? Like, what do you have to lose?
Yeah.
Who do they take there? Who do they take?
I'm not sure. Do they just keep improving that defense? Because, man, is that defense regardless, I mean, they have to invest in their offensive line, and they have to start doing that now before they get their franchise quarterback.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think O-line wouldn't be bad, but I also think they are a good candidate for some type of offensive weapon.
Yeah, if someone's available. But, I mean, they just went and got Curtis Samuel and whatnot, so I don't know unless someone like Waddle falls to them, which I don't think is going to happen, but if it did end up happening, that'd be a fun landing spot for him as well. But, yeah, I think they have to create that foundation of an offensive line before that quarterback arrives, because we see how ugly it can be if you don't have a foundation when you get your franchise quarterback. And then it gets into the whole debate on trying to evaluate these guys when they're in really bad situations.
No, I agree.
And then the last team we can talk about today is pick number 20.
Yep.
The Chicago Bears. So there was a time right around the national championship. It was right after the Bears got eliminated from the playoffs, and I thought there was a real chance Mac Jones could make it all the way here to the Bears at 20. I remember being like, I'm completely fine with Mac Jones here at 20.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's been talked up all the way to number 3 is insane to me. So we're out of the quarterback market, and it's a freaking good thing, because I do not want Pace and Nagy picking our quarterback of the future.
Well, who do you want here, and who do you think they take?
I don't know. I just think we have to invest in the valuable positions. Go get an edge rusher or a tackle. You know, so even if they trade Anthony Miller, which they plan on doing, I like what we have in Mooney. Definitely want to give Allen Robinson that extension. We'll see if it happens. I hope it happens. but I'm not sure. I definitely think an edge rusher. But I mean, we have Robert Quinn under contract. I mean, it's so gross. We're in such a shitty spot, Matt.
It's not good. Like, you guys just need a lot of big holes. Like, I don't know.
They're not one player away. They're not 1 year away. They're a little bit away here. And people keep thinking that I hate Andy Dalton and think he sucks. I don't think Andy Dalton sucks. He's not in a position to succeed, and Nagy is not going to elevate him and allow him to be successful, right? Like,
I think that he has to. He has to do everything. I think that they try to inflate Andy Dalton and make him look better than he is because of the offseason moves.
Yeah.
I mean, he put all his eggs in the Andy Dalton basket.
What's crazy to me is, like, I feel like we were bidding against ourselves with Dalton, and it's not like he sat behind Dak all year last year and there's some, like, we don't know what we have in Andy Dalton. Like, we literally saw him play, and it was fucking awful, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, it was awful with that receiving core that he had over there in Dallas, so.
Yeah.
Whatever, that's enough on the Bears today. All right, Maddie, we went through 20 picks here with some thoughts on some teams and whatnot.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts from you? Anything you want to get out to the people?
Yeah, I think that Justin Fields is better than Mac Jones. I'll leave it with that, and hopefully Lance falls to the Patriots. So.
Yeah, I'm fine dying on that hill. And yeah, I mean, I think it's going to happen. I mean, Fields is going to fall to the Patriots, and everyone is going to be laughing, and it's going to be like, how the hell did we let Bill Belichick pull this thing off? And it's going to be another masterful performance from him.
We'll see. I'll be very excited for the season if we get him. But let's do a little self-promotion here. Talk about your NBA podcast this week. I saw it got released. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet.
Hoops did come out. We talked about the Paul Pierce situation, which have you seen that one?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's been funny. Yep, that's been funny to follow. Talked about some players under 25, about how Luka Doncic is the freaking GOAT, and just how the NBA, although the regular season product isn't great right now with all the blowouts and a lot of guys sitting and stuff, I think it's a product of COVID and the kind of weird season we're having. And I just ran down some of the under 25 players to be like, listen, the league's in a really good place. Like, there's so much young talent in the league combined with these surefire Hall of Famers in guys like Kawhi, LeBron, Curry. Like, we need to take a step back and kind of appreciate what's going on in the NBA right now.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be a great one to watch. I'm going to check it out. Spotify and Apple, right?
And iTunes, yes, sir.
iTunes, okay. Friends of the show, Chop Sports, check out their Facebook group. Since we've got Shreffy on, should we give a FanDuel Sportsbook shout out? Maybe check that out.
Go use sponsored by FanDuel Sportsbook. Scott will make it happen, right, Scott? Yeah,
One day. We got a couple episodes to go, and give us some feedback on the live stream. I know it was a last minute decision here. We kind of wanted to make up for the missed episode earlier in the week, but if this is something that you guys would want to do, I think we need to figure out a good time for it. Might be a little bit later in the evening than we're doing it now, 5 to 6. So if you could comment on the video, let us know what would be a good time to go live. We'd love to have you guys in here, be interactive with the chat and everything like that. That's all I got.
Absolutely. So as always, subscribe if you are not subscribed. I think it's like 80% of our viewers aren't subscribed. So please hit that subscribe button.
Yep.
Hit that like button. Give us a thumbs up and smash that notification bell so that you never miss an episode of The Rueb Show.